Let's go right to where it's going down tonight. Nice and dark out there behind you, but we got Jimmy palm trees at Nissan Stadium. James, battle for first place in the AFC South tonight in Nashville. What is the marquee matchup that you've got your eye on tonight?
I like that. Jimmy Palm Trees. Never heard it before? That's yours. Take it. Own it. Okay, what I'm watching for this game, obviously, it's strength versus strength. It's the running game with Derrick Henry, number 2 rusher in the NFL, leading rusher from a year ago, how he wears teams down, going against this number 3 rushing defense of the Colts, number 1 total defense. They are off to a great start in how they're stopping the run. It's interesting, right? He wears guys down, but does he play outside the tackles in terms of Derrick Henry? Well, the interesting part is Darius Leonard for the Colts said, it might sound crazy, I'd rather see him between the tackles. He's just as powerful, maybe not as powerful, but out in space, he said, that's where Derrick Henry can get us, where he can use that stiff arm, where he can run around you, he can run over you, he can do a variety of things to get past you. Between the tackles, it's a little bit different. What Mike Vrabel loves about this Colts defense he's going at says the tacklers, they all make the tackle, but they're also very quick and fast across the field. That's worth noting because nobody has more yards after contact in the NFL than Derrick Henry. Well, one of the best teams at allowing running backs not to have yards after contact, well, that is the Indianapolis Colts. So this is going to be what we're watching. Everybody on both sides, Kay, is talking about how stopping the run and stopping Derrick Henry is going to be the key to tonight's game.
Jay, now Derrick Henry isn't the only problem for the Colts defense. They've got a huge weapon on the outside in A.J. Brown. How's he become such a weapon for that Titans offense?
And now you know receivers, and you know good receivers, and being a complete receiver, right, is something that Mike Vrabel wants A.J. Brown to be. They know how good his hands are. They know how good he is yards after the catch. But this week, Vrabel brought up Larry Fitzgerald. He said, I want him to fill up the stat sheet, but like Larry Fitzgerald, I want him to be one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league. In Vrabel's mind, he thinks Fitzgerald is arguably the best blocking wide receiver of all time. Now, I mentioned the yards after the catch. So Frank Reich, the head coach of the Colts, said that's what guy you want to go get up on, right? You want to get in his face. You want to be tight coverage against A.J. Brown or receivers like that so they don't get yards after the catch. But he said the issue is now they're going downfield more with A.J. Brown. So if you want to be tight like that, he's going to beat you deep. That's why Reich says he is such a unique, game-changing talent now as he continues to evolve and become a more complete receiver. That is a big challenge for the Colts to slow him down because they're going to take their shots and they're going to want to be able to hit A.J. Brown deep, but they also know they have to worry about him in that intermediate section as well.
Battle for tops in the AFC South. Thank you so much, James Palmer. Go enjoy a nice, what was it, $7 bottle of water? Can't hide money, James.
Yeah. By Fred. Wow. Yeah.
Keep your receipt.
Appreciate you. Talk to you in a bit. Listen, here's the deal. The Titans got off to a 5-0 start, and the offense was moving up and down the field, but they've lost 2 of their last 3, and the numbers have dropped off dramatically. Will the Titans, Kyle Brandt, be able to right the ship against the Colts and their number 1 ranked defense tonight?
If they can win the battle in the trenches. Normally, quarterbacks carry the day, as we know on this show, but this one to me is Derrick versus Darius all night long. This is why you lift all them weights. King Henry versus the Maniac 5. They have done this 4 times. This is part 5. What we have here is 6'2", 363, 238 versus 6'2", 230. Couple of second-round picks. Alabama versus South Carolina State. I love Jimmy Palm Trees saying Darius Leonard's like, I want him in the hole right now. When you got out in space, it gets even more dangerous. What I like about this, they've played 4 times, and I'm calling it a push. It has been really, really equal. Take a look statistically at what Derrick Henry has done, not against the Titans, but against the Colts, specific against Darius Leonard. All right? 46 yards, a loss. 93 yards, a loss. Then he starts heating up. 82 a touch and a loss. 149 a touch and a win the last time they played. I'm calling that a push. This battle will settle it tonight. I mean, you don't see a lot of these. You can see Ray Lewis versus Jerome Bettis. The middle linebacker versus the big old feature running back is really fun and really old school. Maniac versus King Henry 5 will decide this game.
I like it. And it's not just those two because all of a sudden the Titans, we look at this team, they used to be Derrick Henry and then let's just hope to have the defense. This A.J. Brown is going to have a national showcase tonight, and I think A.J. Brown might put on a performance. This Indy defense is number 1 in the league, but A.J. Brown is coming off one of the coolest catches we've seen all season. Buster Screen still recovering from this one. Big play here. Tannehill throws it perfectly, and Brown just catches it and then wills himself to the end zone. Nate's going to talk about A.J. Brown extensively later in the show. He's going to break it down why this guy is having such a career season. But I look at this team, and I look at the Colts, and it's like, here's this offense. We don't know how we're going to get. Here's this number one defense. They play each other twice over the next 3 weeks. AFC South is going to be decided in the next 3 weeks. The Texans are not winning the AFC South. I just don't see that happening right now. The Jaguars are done. Indianapolis, Tennessee, part 1. It starts tonight. A.J. Brown might be the biggest factor.
No doubt about it. On the ground, in the air. And you mentioned Ray Lewis versus the Bus. How about Ray Lewis versus Eddie George?
Yeah.
An original Titan running back,
Jeff
right?
Fisher team.
For me, I'm looking at the guy who touches the ball more than everybody, and that's Ryan Tannehill. That's what this game is going to come down to. Ryan Tannehill, if he can take care of the ball versus an opportunistic defense. And we've seen him do it in spurts this year. We've seen him throw the ball very well. We've seen him use his legs. You know, with all of these quarterbacks that we praise week to week, and let me just throw this in there. Ryan Tannehill, top 5 in touchdowns. He has less interceptions than Josh Allen, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson. So if we're going to mention quarterbacks that are having good seasons, let's just throw his name in there. I'm not saying you have to put him in the MVP conversation, but a guy who has done his job, especially after taking over from Mariota, he's one of the feature quarterbacks in this league, and he's playing like it. And this game will come down to not only him turning around, handing the ball off, looking for A.J. Brown at the wide receiver position, maybe Jonnu Smith across the middle, but him using his legs. If he can deliver the ball like he does without turning it over and then escape the pocket, not just extend the plays for his wideouts, but use his legs to get in the end zone, I think they have a great chance of winning.
I just don't want him to have to do all of those things. I don't want Derrick Henry to have to run the ball a million times to get it done. I'm a little concerned about this Titans defense, right? They're ranked 25th in the league this year. It's not what it was last year. Their pass rush hasn't been getting it done. They have 10 sacks. That's ranked 29th in the National Football League. Hopefully, the addition of Desmond King helps. We, of course, saw Harold Landry step up in a big way. Maybe they're headed in the right direction. But then again, on the Colts side, they might have a guy coming back onto the field to help them out. And that's where we bring in Tom Pelissero here. Tom, the Colts should be getting some help on offense tonight. What's the latest with T.Y. Hilton?
Okay, T.Y. Hilton will play tonight for the Colts in their big game against the Titans after missing last week's game because of a groin injury. He was listed as a full participant in practice, albeit on a short week here. Has no injury designation, so he is back. The question is, can Hilton get going, and can he help Phillip Rivers and that Colts offense get going? You just look at the numbers on Hilton this season. He's averaging about 3 catches and 36 yards per game. He has not yet scored a touchdown. This is a guy in a contract year, still only 30 years old, which is not very old at all. In wide receiver terms, a lot at stake for Hilton and, of course, the Colts entering this monster AFC.